All right. Hello friends and welcome to a new video on my channel. Currently a little bit dark in here despite the fact that I have the light on because it's really cloudy outside. Normally I rely on some natural light for these videos in here, but it's really cloudy. Looks like it might rain later today, so we got to deal with a little bit of darkness, but we're gonna go for another little somewhat weekly vlog. I'm thinking of going until Thursday and then doing a separate vlog for the weekend just to make them a little bit shorter because I do know that I talk to the camera a lot. But today I am working on crocheting some ghosts. Last night I made this at like 2 a.m. So it's a little bit funky, but not in a bad way. I normally don't make them with smiles, I just give them eyes. But for some reason, 2 a.m. I just reached for the smile stuff. And so this one has a cute little smile. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it going forward. Should they all have smiles? Should they not? I'm gonna make another one without a smile and sort of compare, see which one I like better, and then you, as a customer, if you go into my physical store, you'd be able to pick up which one you like better, so that's cool. Other things that I want to do in this vlog is pick up a new book. I haven't yet decided what I want to read, but I do know that I want to just pick up a book. It's been a little bit since the last time that I've read. It's been like a couple days and I'm just like, it's time to pick up something new, so I'll do that later in the day because right now I'm focusing on crocheting, and the rest we'll just see as it pops up what I end up doing. So I'm gonna go hop into this, maybe make some breakfast. I'm a little hungry, but it's also a little bit earlier than I normally eat breakfast, and it's not like I have to eat breakfast at the exact same time every day, but it's like, do I want to right now? I'm a little bit lazy, but let's go start our day and see what ends up happening in this vlog. Okay, I don't know how well I'll be able to show this on camera, because it is like through a screen and outside and all that and the underside of it, but look at this huge ass orb weaver spider that I just found outside here. Like, it's humongous. I think that's about as good as I can get it. It's here, let me put my finger near it. It's huge, and the like body of it, just the butt area, I guess, like, that's humongous. Okay, hopefully this camera angle looks good because the camera's too far away. I have too many dogs, just you know. But I crocheted a little bit. I made another one of these, which you would have seen. Again, looking at both of them now, I know that I made the ones before like this without the mouth, but I'm kind of debating the mouth. Like, I can't tell which one that I like better. I've done that recently a lot where I have like two different versions of the same thing and I'm like, I don't know which one I like better. What the heck? But I made that and then I was about to start another one. I did kind of start the next one. I got this far. Yippee. And then I got distracted. And I've been distracted for the past hour and a half, maybe. So I was thinking, I was talking to the people in my little Discord group for my gaming stuff. I keep kind of debating, this isn't what I was currently looking up, but just as an aside, I keep currently debating whether or not I want to merge everything that I do into like a single Discord hub, or if I just want the Discord group to solely be gaming, because like it's for gaming. But also I know that occasionally we've talked in the Discord group about how like they don't mind me talking about the other things that I do, because there could be some people out there who, you know, like gaming, but they also like the same interests that I have. And I know some of them are interested in seeing the things that I crochet, but I'm also like, should I include like a little reading thing in there, or should I include this or the other thing? Like I don't know. I'm still debating it. But we were talking about a month ago about more community focused things, and in particular like movie nights where we all come together and we watch a movie and it's like a little fun hangout session. And I had said that I was interested in doing that, but I have to figure out like copyright and legality of it, because I don't want to step on anyone's toes legally and get sued. But also like it would be nice. And so I was just looking not into that on Discord in particular, but what if I record my own reactions to watching a movie, let's say, for example, and then post that so that then you could watch that, have the movie up as well, and it's like we're watching it together, but we're not live watching it together. Because the problem that I have is that I just don't know when I would have movie nights. Like, at night, I'm playing games. During the day, I'm crocheting. I have a little bit of time here and there during the day, but nobody wants to have a movie night at 2 p.m. I mean, depending on time zones, your 2 p.m. could be, you know, nighttime for you, but it's just I cannot find a specific time in my day where I think a movie night would be doable. And so I thought that it would be a better idea to have like a recorded movie night where when I have free time, let's say, you know, on Wednesday I have an hour here where I could put in a little like movie night-esque thing. And then on Thursday I have an hour earlier in the morning where I could do that. You know, I could just better squeeze it into the cracks in my schedule. So I was looking into that and what people do, and then I was watching some other people's like their videos on YouTube to get sort of an idea of how other people do this. And I'm kind of debating it. I'm still thinking about it a little bit, but that's what I did for the past hour and a half, was look into that. And then I was starving, I realized. So I had some lunch. And now I'm here. Definitely not what I was expecting to do with my time at all. I was also, before this, I was watching somebody's Twitch stream, the like VOD version, because I was watching it live, and then I got busy, and I had to exit out of it and go do other things. So I was watching what happened after I left, and I got so frustrated because it's a puzzle game, and the streamer that I was watching, there was a puzzle in particular that she just didn't understand, but I understood. So I was like, you literally, it's right there on the screen, you just have to read it. But the problem was she wasn't reading. She was reading everything else but the information that she needed. I was so pissed off. I was like, I had to put it down. I was like, you know what? I need to put this down. I need to go do something else, because like I'm getting too frustrated right now in this. I'm becoming a terrible person through this video. So then I started, you know, doing other things, and then watching videos, doing research. And now I'm here. So I'm gonna go back to crocheting that final ghost. I guess I'm gonna ask my friends whether or not they like the mouth or I shouldn't have the mouth, because I have no idea. I could also post it to social media, I guess, or the Discord group. And then we'll see what's gonna happen. I don't know, I'm just here. I hate how my camera stand, when I have it at its like lowest feet setting, it's just slightly too short. But when I have it at its second mediumest setting, it takes up slightly too much room for it to be practical to move around places. It's so annoying. So right now you're slightly too short by like an inch, but we'll deal with it. Anyway, I was going through all of the different things that I had saved. Like, I have a few things saved for Halloween and Christmas that I wanted to put in the shop, and just like looking around and seeing like, oh, I forgot that I had these. What do I have planned? So I know that I wanted to make a few more of these with a different pattern, but I found I had one candy corn for Halloween. Amazing. I still have a zombie. Get it? Zombie bee. Which I had made a full collection years ago of a bunch of different supernatural inspired bees. And the zombie was the only one that didn't sell. So I still have it. I think I'm just gonna put it in the physical store, but I'm not gonna make any more of them because, I mean, I had a collection. There was a werewolf bee, there was a vampire bee, there was a witch bee. Those are the only ones that I can think of off the top of my head that aren't right here. And the zombie didn't sell. The vampire and the werewolf bee, okay, the vampire bee is just kind of okay, but I didn't like it all that much. The werewolf bee was kind of popular, but it just takes too much work. I don't want to do that again because I would brush out the bee so it would look like furry. I don't want to do that. The witch bee was pretty okay, but I would have to make the hat as well on top of it. And I don't remember what pattern I used for the hat, so we're just... Listen, that's for later if I get down to it. But yeah, the zombie never sold, so I'll put it up, see if anybody wants to grab it, and hopefully somebody takes it off my hands. And then the other one that I did that I didn't list there because it was rather popular and I will be making more of them. In your head, if you just called this a ghost bee, you're wrong. You know what this is. This is a boobie. I know, I'm hilarious. So I need to definitely make more boobies because people love my boobies. And then more candy corn. Throw this up in the shop just to see if anybody wants it, but not make any more. I have a lot of things that I need to do because I also wanted to make bats. I thought I was going to do that next, but my arm hurts a little bit, so I'm taking a break. Outside of the realm of crochet, though, I looked at my Kindle to see what book I'm going to pick up next, and I decided I'm going to do Volume 5 of The Husky and His White Cat Shizun. I was kind of putting this off because I know if I read Volume 5, I'm going to want to read Volume 6, and I don't currently own Volume 6. But I also have over 300 unread books on my Kindle, so I didn't really want to buy any more. But I'm like, you know what? I'm really enjoying this series. I want to read more, so I'm going to read Volume 5 right now. And then I got told through a YouTube comment here that I should read Volume 7 and 8, like back to back. So I'm going to try to do that. I think I'll read Volumes 5 and 6 back to back, take another short break, just so I don't get not necessarily bored, but just so it's not the same thing over and over and over again, you know? And then I'll come back for 7 and 8. And then I guess 9 and 10, because I think 10 is the final volume. Not 100% sure on that, but I'm about to hop into this. I have like an hour before stream starts, and that's kind of scary, because I know if I start reading this, I'm just going to want to read this all night. So let's see, hopefully I can pull myself away from this book, but I want to let you know that I'm hopping into Volume 5. I love how I never know what to expect in this book. I'm on page 2. It opens up, Volume 5 of The Husky and His White Cat Shizun, opens up with people spreading rumors that this one character who's like about to get married to this guy is having an affair with another guy. Which, based on what happened at the end of Volume 4, I don't think that's true, but we had this whole thing where the main character said that he was going to try and get it so that they don't get married. So I can only assume who's spreading these rumors. Anyway, then you get like a couple scenes of a bunch of random background characters being like, oh my god, did you hear the news? Oh my gosh. And then you get to this one who's like, he's laying in bed with his wife. It says specifically that he's like hugging her close. And he says, you're the best. You might be a little bit fat, short, and ugly, but at least you work hard. Like, I never know what to expect with these books, but what the hell was that? Okay, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I had a whole day without you where I just did not record. This morning I woke up and I was like, I don't really feel like doing anything. Normally I try to, like, I'll grab my stuff before I go downstairs, you know? I'll try to, like, get everything together so I don't have to keep trekking back up here and then back downstairs and then back up here and then back downstairs. And so I was thinking of everything that I needed to grab and I was just like, I don't want to grab anything. I just want to have a day. So I let myself just have a day where I was just browsing on my computer, watching videos, just chillaxing. You know, I never really plan breaks for myself, and maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe I should plan more breaks. But the way that I always look at it is like, when you feel like you need a break, just go ahead and take that break, you know? Even if you had different plans that day, you didn't wake up that morning planning on having a break day, like, just take the break when you need it. Which is maybe also why a lot of the times I feel like I'm overworked and get into little moods where I'm like, I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, so today I had a little bit of a break day and I did nothing but watch videos on my computer. I was on YouTube, I was on Twitch, I was just nothing but watching people's videos, so that's fun. Anyway, another thing that I should tell you about last night, because I read 50 pages of my book, I think. Volume 5 of Erha, or the Husky and his white cat Shizen. And I was kind of like, I'm just not feeling Volume 5. We're focused on the wedding that we were talking about at the end of Volume 4, and how our main character is like, I'm going to make sure that this wedding isn't going to happen. And I was like, okay, I'm intrigued to see how he's going to end up doing that, because he has nothing to do with either one of these characters. And now we're getting to the point where we're like talking about the wedding and we're like visiting. It's also very weird because I feel like I need a little bit more information. We just suddenly started this with like, okay, we're visiting and we're in this like forest area. How did we get here? Anyway, I'm just not feeling it. And then also I skipped ahead because I know that this is the book where they get together, I guess. And so I skipped ahead in order to read that scene because I was really excited about it. And I read it and it was pretty good. But now I'm like, alright, the beginning of this book isn't really drawing me in. Like, it just feels weird. And I read the part that I'm most excited about already. So what am I here for? I think there's something else big that happens in the middle. I got like bits and pieces of it, but I don't 100% know what that is. So like, I should still read it for the plot, but I'm just like, I don't feel like it. I don't know why, but I think Volume 5, even though I've only read like 50 pages of it, is going to be my least favorite just because I'm not connecting to it the way that I have the previous books so far. But anyway, I need to figure out what to do because I don't want to go to bed yet. But I'm also like, should I crochet since I didn't earlier today? But I don't really feel like it. I don't want to read. Do I watch more videos? I do need to charge my camera. It's at 20%. So, last night, this morning, whichever, I woke up at 6 a.m.-ish. It was a little bit before 6 a.m., but I woke up at 6 a.m. and I just could not fall back asleep. There's no reason for me to be awake at 6 a.m. Nothing going on, but I could not fall back asleep. And so, I just ended up, like, doing things on my computer. I crocheted for a little bit. I opened the blinds to get some light in my bedroom because I'm like, if I'm going to be awake, I might as well just, like, do things, right? I might as well, rather than just laying in bed and staring at the ceiling. Let's just do things. So I crocheted until I think 9-ish, 9:30 maybe, and then I fell back asleep. Yay! The only problem is I have to be up at 10 every day, so I only slept for somewhere between 30 minutes to an hour before I had to wake up again. Came downstairs with my dogs, fell asleep again, and now I've just woken up and it's 1:30. So that's fun. That's exciting. But to be fair, like, I feel like when you can't sleep, like if you wake up at 6 a.m. and can't sleep until 9, it's okay to wake up again at 1:30. So, I have breakfast here that I need to eat at 1:30. And then, one of the things that I was working on this morning while I was crocheting is I've had this idea of streaming crocheting. I've seen other people do it before. Okay. I follow an artist here on YouTube who sometimes streams her process of making art, and I don't often watch it because I'm not a big, like, speed painting sort of person. Like, I like seeing the finished artwork, but I find watching the process boring. But, you know, every so often, it's been like 10 years since I started following her, I'd see her live streams going on, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I've been looking into kind of doing that, but with crochet, and watching other crocheters live stream. And there's this whole, like, co-working thing, which I thought was interesting, watching a couple people do that and how they do it, what exactly the, like, standardized format is, I guess. And so this morning I was working a little bit on setting up, if I did that, I made an account on Twitch. I don't like YouTube live streaming. I think the format of it, the way that they have integrated it into their site, is just weird, and they don't focus on it. I just like the organization, how everything has a category and there are tags and you can actually sort through live streams, versus on YouTube, I haven't found a way that you can sort. You can just see what's popular. Or maybe what YouTube recommends to you, but you can't browse the way that you can Twitch. So I made a Twitch account. I set up a little bit of, like, what the stream's going to look like. There's still a couple of other things that I need to set up, like bots and commands, and that's all that I can think of off the top of my head, so hopefully that's it. So I'm going to work a little bit on that. I think today I'm going to watch a couple more streams just to, like, get used to the idea, and then perhaps tomorrow I'll try it out myself. I'll have to see what the plan is. I don't even know my own schedule for tomorrow. but I will see what the plan is and just kind of try it out, see how it goes. So I'm gonna eat breakfast right now because it's 1:30. Okay, so I wanted to give a little bit of an update because it's currently almost 5. Just double checking something on my phone. It's currently almost 5 and I've done a lot while also simultaneously looking like I've done nothing. I've had this stream on, somebody's little co-working stream, that originally I was just like, I'm not really feeling the vibe, but I'll keep it in the background for a little bit. And I've been watching it for 2-3 hours now. So I don't know what's up with that. But I have been working a lot on, I got Nightbot and Seribot in all set up, I guess. I did this much crocheting. Not a lot at all. I'm also debating whether or not this is too big. This is going to be a bat. And this is just the head. So I'm debating whether or not this is too big, and the next one I make, I want to go down a hook size, or if I want to just make them all big and put them at kind of a higher price than I was expecting. Because they are kind of detailed, you know, and generally when you want more details in your work, you want it to be a little bit bigger so that people could see those details. I don't know. Anyway. And then I also messed a little bit with my store's settings and trying to figure out, because I want to do pre-order sales for custom dolls, which I think I worked on them. I made the first one 2 months ago, and then last month I worked on getting all of the like clothing options, and I still have a couple more that I need to do. That's just like in the back of my brain, like, oh, it might be nice to include like a jacket too or something. And then apparently this month it's working on trying to figure out pre-orders. So I asked, because one of the things is I want to also allow it as something that you can pick up in the physical store. But I don't... The physical store has its own POS system and its own cashiers. And I don't handle that, so I was asking, I don't know what to call them, my landlord, boss, manager person, asking him whether or not their POS system allows for like free items during checkout, so that you'd be able to order it online. I'd make it, then I'd bring it to the store, and then you could pick up at the store, and just trying to figure that out. And he's like, I don't know, I'll look into that. And then we were just talking about like the whole setup and what I'm planning, his little thoughts and ideas, and how to just make it so that it makes sense for both the physical market and my own website. So that's all I've done. So now I'm gonna work a little bit more on this, like I said, but in about an hour I need to FEED my DOGs, and they're gonna go crazy starting in about 30 minutes. They're already starting to go crazy, and I'm like, y'all have an hour. So that's going to be fun. Then I got a FEED ME. Uh-oh. Augustine learned how to spell just then, and just kind of set up for, you know, life things. I guess eventually I'm gonna have to go live life, but I wanted to give you some little updates on what I've been doing, because I've done a lot, but none of it is physical things that I can show you. I've been productive today, though. Just not in that way. So, okay, I double-checked with my personal bat that I have. I know it's black, and so it's difficult to see. In real life, it's, you know, easier because it's right there in front of you, but I technically find that on camera, darker colors like black and dark brown are more difficult to see. I don't know how to fix that. Anyway, so my personal bat, I've had this for a few years, and this is the same pattern design as I'm using for these bats. I double checked the one that I was making before, with this one to see the size, and it was definitely too big. So as you would have seen, I undid it, started working on it again, and this one is definitely going faster. Maybe that's also because like I'm paying attention to it and not taking a break every 5 seconds to go and do something on my computer, but it just also feels better. I don't know how to describe that. Just as I was doing the first one, I was like, there's something wrong about this. This isn't correct. And now that I'm doing this one, I'm like, this one's right. But I did double check and make sure that it's the same size as this one. So I'm also debating whether or not I want to put this one in the store because it just sits there on my bookshelf in the back there. I could always make myself a new one. Though that being said, I often say that, and then I don't end up making myself a new one. So should I be nice to myself and just like keep this as mine? Or should I let it go? I don't know. I do like it, you know, it's just... Anyway, working on that, making dinner in the background. Yeah, I think that's everything. Just wanted to say that I'm working on a smaller version right now. Okay, it's a little bit after 2 a.m. Don't talk to me, but I'm reading my book. Volume 5 of The Husky and His White Cat Shizun. And you know how I was telling you before that I wasn't really feeling the plot to this, but I was interested in seeing how the main character was going to break up this not quite marriage, I guess, engagement. I'm only halfway through this scene, but I was not expecting that, of all things. I also don't understand like what our thought process is here, because at first the main character starts talking about like one thing and then decides to turn it around and say something else, and I don't know how these two are connected. I'm not fully following why we're doing this. But listen, I've learned some things that I did not know. Like I said, I'm only about halfway through this scene, maybe. We just got some information about a character that we've known for a while. I don't want to like say spoilers. We just got some information about a character that we've known for a few books, I think since book 2. I can't remember when exactly he was introduced. That's like... that is a turn of events I was not expecting, and now I kind of want to reread through the entire series to see, like, just in a new light with this new information that I've just had, like, really? This whole time? Interesting. Also, I'm questioning the relationship between this character and another character now. Like, I don't want to say they're mad at each other. Did they have a falling out for a certain reason? I'm very intrigued. Anyway, now we have like plot-related action, drama, this whole demon thing coming down, whatever. I just want to say, the character of all time. The character of all time. I'm officially obsessed with this character in particular. Favorite character of the entire series. I want to know more. I want an entire story that's just this. Like, who cares about the rest of this story? You know, the whole, like, Ranwan, I had to think of what their ship name was called, whatever dark and terrible things are going to happen in the later books, all of that. I want a series that's solely about this character. I can't even tell you who it is, because that would be some huge spoilers. But I feel like if you've read this series before, you know. You just know. Like, if you've read this series before and you were watching the videos of me reading the previous books, you've been waiting for this. For this moment right here. Did I have plans today? Yes. Am I instead going to sit here and read through the entirety of Volume 5 of The Husky is White Cat Shizun? Maybe Volume 6 if I can get to it later today? Absolutely. Obsessed. I need to know more. Okay, so I finished Volume 5. It's 4:16. And then I finished it about an hour ago. But I had to go be a person. So let me just say, in that book, I feel like I can't talk about it a lot because, like, so much of it was plot heavy and spoilers. I don't want to give you guys any spoilers, but, one thing we did know going into it is that Moran said that he was going to make sure that this wedding isn't going to happen. And he did that. The wedding did not happen. However, there was another character who decided that this was going to be a little drama practice. You know how, like, in a drama club, everybody gets together and they play these sort of games, to see how good that they are at acting on the fly. I feel like that's what this character did, because he was like, yes, and but, the wedding didn't happen. Like, we knew it wasn't going to. So, yeah, and then I told you already that I wasn't feeling the book, so I had skipped ahead to read the end, and then went back and read through the rest of it, so the ending was not surprising to me, though I am interested in seeing what happens next, both for, like, the plot and also the characters. I have so many questions about, like, where do we go from here? What's going to happen? Because it's not like they can do anything until something specific pops up. So we're just gonna wait. Also, there was one character who, like, what's gonna happen to her? I can't say that. The other one. Let's just say that. So then I got Volume 6 through 9, because 10 apparently isn't out yet. I had looked up the series earlier because I was confused on how many volumes there were, and I was like, oh, there's 10 volumes, great. And now I just went to go and, like, get the rest of the series, and I was like, oh, 10's not available? It doesn't get published until November. Which is fine, whatever, but, yeah, that's fun. So I got Volumes 6 through 9. I'm about to hop into Volume 6 right now. And I wanted to give you a little bit of an update. I keep looking at my plant because I need to water it. It looks so sad in the corner, and I'm like, let me go water it. Then I'll start reading Volume 6. If you want to hear about plant talk, though, this is the plant that always gives me trouble. It keeps falling over. Even when I give it support, it somehow just decides, I don't want this, and it just falls over. So I've been keeping it inside and away from all of my other plants, because it's like I can watch it better, so when it starts to try and fall over, I can be like, hey, don't do that. Anyway, it has this, like, black part on its leaves, and I was like, oh, you've gotten sunburned somehow. Like, the inside of my room doesn't have a lot of natural light, but it is right next to the window, so I'm thinking maybe the glass is, like, magnifying it, like if you burn ants through a magnifying glass with the sun. But then I was looking at it a little bit more because I was like, okay, I'll just, turn you and get you out of the sun. I was looking at it a little bit more, and I don't think it's a sunburn because the lower leaves that don't see the sun as much are also black. And then also, like, it just doesn't look sunburned. Like normally plants, when they're getting a lot of sun, they turn a little more red. And this one's green. So I don't think it's a sunburn, but I don't know what it is. Anyway, one of the leaves fell off, so I thought I'd bring it over so you could see. I don't know what that is. Is that like a rot of some sort? I'm gonna look that up. Like, okay, here, you'd be able to see. This is the color that plants turn when they've gotten a lot of light. That like kind of reddish versus the rest of it's, I don't know. But I'm gonna look that up because it is on a lot of it. Like a fair amount is black like that. And honestly, at this point, I've kind of given up on this plant. It's been years of me trying to help it in every single way, and it just keeps coming up with new and exciting problems. Like, at this point, do you want me to help you? Like, just end it already. Okay, so I think it's definitely some kind of rot, which is very interesting because, I don't know, I haven't watered this plant in like forever. So, and it's only the top, like the bottom stem down here. This plant looks rough, but like I said before, it likes to topple itself off of buildings and stuff. All this down here, I thought looked fine. Maybe? I don't know. It also has a couple of babies down here. Let's see if I can get in there that I was trying to save, and I don't know what to do about them, but like the bottom leaves look fine from here, but the top leaves don't. Very intriguing. I've never had a plant do this before. So I guess I'm gonna tear off all of these blackened leaves, take off as well the good leaves, try to see if I can propagate them into new plants. Because if it's at the top here, it makes sense that the whole stem is bad. I don't know what to do about these little babies down here. So I can't keep the leaves on the stem. I don't know. Okay, for a quick look of what looks salvageable and what doesn't, this is the non-salvageable side, this is the salvageable. It looks about half and half, maybe 2/3 to 1/3, but I even grabbed some of the ones that are like not too bad, but kind of iffy. I was just like, you know what, I don't want to deal with that. And I tried to grab the little babies that were on the stem, but they're so small. I don't think they're gonna survive, but I didn't know what else to do with them, so I just put them in this pile anyway. So now I need to just get rid of all this soil, all this nice wet soil that I just watered, because I can't keep it if the plant's rotten in any way. That means the bacteria is going to be in the soil as well. And yeah, I guess I'll just keep these out for a couple of days, wait until they scab over, toss them in another container full of dirt, and see what happens.